Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 195 of the Planet Destiny podcast. The one about the revelry and Arc Week and all those things that you're definitely looking forward to in the world of Destiny 2. Oh, maybe you're looking forward to Arbalest like Nem.
Yes.
Same.
That's all he's looking forward to.
That's all I want. Just hand it over. I want it.
Just wants a kinetic linear fusion rifle.
Yeah. I mean, it's a linear fusion rifle, and I can already imagine it's like not going to be as sticky as they used to be. But it should be fun trying to get to use that.
That was a glitch. I want to say for the record, Queenbreaker was that good apparently because of a glitch that has existed since the first game.
Doubled aim assist bug.
So I have to wonder because we never got actual statistics for what the aim assist stat on Queenbreaker was. We might have to do some extra digging, Nim, to see if we can figure out exactly what it was sitting at. Because
see, in the database, because I remember when I was reviewing it, it was sitting at 60.
Yeah,
which was actually lower than I want to say. I think either Manowar or Crooked Fang.
Yes, it was lower than those.
But in reality, it was doubled that.
It towered over absolutely everything else. And it's weird because aim assist does very specific things. It has to do with bullet magnetism and with how much your reticle slows when you're over a target.
Right.
There was more than that going on with Queenbreaker because you could shoot over here and get a headshot with it. It was kind of like what used to happen with Send It back in Destiny 1.
Oh, right.
Where Send It gave you a massive increase to your range, but it also made headshot hitboxes way bigger for some reason. Because that's what the thing was with Thorn. It had Send It, and you could shoot over here and get a headshot. We had that times two with Queenie.
Queenbreaker, if you're counting in the bug, it had 120 aim assist, which is what made it, I'm gonna look in your general direction and I'm gonna get that precision kill.
I'd have to imagine that at some point with the aim assist, the game just decides, whatever, we can't slow your reticle down any further past 100%. Here's what we're gonna do: we're just gonna make heads. It's like turning on DK mode in GoldenEye and 64, where you just have giant domes running around, and anything is a headshot. Aim for the pinky toe. It's a headshot. Doesn't matter. Yeah, probably not going to be the case with Arbalest, considering it's a primary weapon.
It's a primary weapon, and it seems very PvE focused.
Yeah, because it's not going to be a one-shot PvP weapon outside of headshots. There's no way that's gonna happen with this thing. But it does look interesting. It does, and I like the fact that it gets stronger as you break shields with it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks rad as hell.
We've been waiting for railguns for a long time in Destiny. It's about time we finally got one.
It should be a pretty solid replacement for Yotun in Gambit Prime when it comes to bringing down the blockers, particularly the captains with the solar.
Yeah.
The solar stuff. So, because that's really how. That's another thing that I'm curious about. It has shield disorient and the shield breaking thing, but how many shots is it going to take to bring down one of those shields? Because it's not an elemental weapon.
Yeah, it can't be much, right?
Yeah, the intrinsic is compounding force, so fire slugs that causes massive damage to elemental shields of enemy combatants. So, will it one shot any shield?
I don't know, because we know the way shields work in this game. Weapons deal reduced damage to them if they aren't matching the element. They deal double damage if they are matching the element.
Intrinsic match game.
Yeah, the intrinsic match game. But, there are certain things out there that just ignore that because their damage is so high. I think a great example is Lord of Wolves. As we mentioned multiple times on stream, Nim, Lord of Wolves doesn't care.
It doesn't care about literally anything.
It doesn't care about literally anything. Whatever kind of overshield you want to put on. It gives 0. And I'd imagine it's a linear fusion, so it's going to have to be a fairly hard-hitting weapon.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats for it right now.
Mhm.
Right?
It has the same charge time as a Crooked Fang, so it's 533.
Okay.
Impact of 41.
Yep.
Let's see. Aim assistance of 61. Has a 1 extra point above the Queen Breaker.
Right.
So if you use this with like some taken armaments stuff, like you could have especially in Gambit Prime, you could have yourself a just
Pretty
damn
solid
good time.
weapon.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
with taken armament? Oh, that's grenade.
Okay, sorry. I meant the one that like once you take down a shield, it replenishes.
Oh, repurposing. Taken repurposing.
Yeah, taken repurposing. So you
It'll
take
give
that
you
down.
your grenade back.
It gives you your grenade back. Then oh my god.
You can actually
synergize
combine. Yeah, you can have like a taken armaments and a repurposing on your loadout.
elements.
That way, when you bust open somebody's shields, use a grenade on them and so on and so forth, and just kind of like keep getting that back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you can have those if they drop for you. No 1K, still no taken armament mods.
I'll lend you a
Well-
couple of mine, TBL.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Well, we're not gonna talk about what I got this week again. Then
Chad, he got 1,000 voices.
I did, but we're not gonna talk about that right now.
We're not going to talk about that. The increased drop rate is a myth. That gun doesn't exist. Once again, welcome to the Planet Destiny podcast. We are your roundtable of hosts, Mr. Nim Plays,
Hi.
Dan Finity,
Hello.
and I am the Black Link. It's going to be the three of us this week. Everybody else had stuff to do or wasn't really feeling too well, but that's okay because we've got some stuff to talk about. I mean, we just spent a little bit of time talking about an exotic that we're going to be getting our hands on over the course of the next week as the Destiny 2 spring event, The Revelry, goes live. And boy, did we learn quite a bit about the Revelry this week. What are you guys thinking of it?
I want Arbalest.
Yeah,
Okay,
There's
there we
my
go.
thoughts.
Arbalest?
I
More
want
Arbalest?
that. I want all orbs. I want every orb that you can muster
No.
just in my pocket. If I can just put it in my pocket and carry it around with me for the rest of the year, then I'll be good.
Can I say I'm a little worried about some things with the Revelry?
Sure.
Oh, do tell.
I like the concept of the Revelry. I think them bringing back the Hunted Forest concept from Festival of the Lost is great. I think if they did that for all of Ava's special events, I would be perfectly fine with that. It's a good way to repurpose that content, and I'd imagine it doesn't take too much extra coding work from Bungie there. So if they were to just do that for all of Ava's events, I'd be perfectly happy with that sort of thing. But of course, with this year's Revelry, the first time we're going to have this event, we're having a very special sort of thing going along with it. We've got the Reveler's Tonic, I do believe it's called, and like the
Yeah.
Reveler's Essence, which is basically going to be something, a type of currency you'll build up by completing bounties for the Revelry and by completing runs and defeating bosses in the Verdant Forest, which is the new Haunted Forest type of activity. Very similar to what we had in the Festival of the Lost last year. And as you get Reveler's Essence, you fill up that tonic. And when you fill up that tonic, you get reduced cooldowns for your grenades, melees, and class abilities. That's all well and good. There's going to be different tiers of this as you get some of the different armor sets that are tied to the Revelry. And if you get a full set of armor, then you're going to get like a tier 3 bonus to this. So you're going to be getting your cooldowns back way faster. They mentioned that this is going to be active in all game modes except private matches. Okay, that's cool. I like that in Strikes. I like that in Gambit. I like that in PvE and all that kind of stuff.
In raids.
This is going to be active in raids.
Oh,
That's
God!
cool. It's going to be
Yes!
active in comp.
Down with that too. Honestly, I might play comp this week.
And that's not the only thing. The thing that reminded me of this when you were talking about orbs, another bonus that's going to be happening is when you build up some of this stuff, all precision hits you get or precision kills that you get are going to drop orbs of light
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong
in
with that.
PvP.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing.
There's nothing wrong. No, it's
Nothing wrong with
fine.
Leave it alone. It's fine. It's
Finish your run to Fabled before the Revelry starts. Get it out of the way now. Although, to be fair, I'm being a little facetious here. They brought that up, and I think Cosmo or Dylan responded like, "Oh, oops. We'll bring that up with the team, Bungie, because if that happens in comp, that's going to be a little
Spectral blaze everywhere.
Backflippers unite.
No, you know what? I've actually so lately in the Crucible, I've been playing as the Burning Maul super, with the Titan, and let me tell you something about that super. It
Bonk.
squishes spectral blades like filthy little ants.
Bonk.
It is delicious.
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to have your super enough to squish a full team of Spectral Blades constantly chaining supers because they're getting headshots.
Bring them to me, like right now.
Boy. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy week, and I'm looking forward to it. I think Revelry looks like it's gonna be a fun amount of time. I loved the Haunted Forest activity. I spent like 5 or 6 hours in there on the first day.
That's fucking ridiculous, dude.
So I could get my horror story, and it really wasn't worth it. I can't. That gun sits in my vault as a testament and a reminder to not grind for these things. It's the reason I did. It was the gun. You know what? Maybe it was worth it because it reminded me that the Wizened Rebuke wasn't worth it in Iron Banner a few weeks ago. I got on to play it, and I looked in my vault like, oh, what am I going to use in Iron Banner this time around? Horror story. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to play Division 2. And so it saved me from that. But this time we have an exotic tied to the Revelry. You know, we talked a bit about it earlier. We've got the Arbalest, which is the exotic kinetic linear fusion rifle. It's basically a railgun. We get to see a quick little clip of it. Bungie put out a video, of course, for the Revelry. It's like a 30-second video. We might link that here in the chat for you guys. And it looks pretty cool. It's going to be tied to Revelry. You'll be able to purchase it apparently directly from Ava, I do believe, for like 300 of the Reveler's Essence, which I'm gonna be grinding up for it. It's gonna be a thing. Nim, we're gonna need to team up. Go hit up the Verdant Forest and grind.
Oh, we definitely will. That's something that I really want. Here's something that I find a little weird. So this weapon is tied to this event, the Revelry. You get it from Eva. I have a feeling that wasn't always the case, however. Just based on the lore of the weapon and the little flavor text, it's all tied to the Drifter. And they mention Fellwinter and Saladin in there. It's just strange that this weapon is coming from her. You know what I mean?
Here's how that happened. So Drifter left a lot of stuff in his old office before moving to the basement. And, you know that it was just kind of hanging out. It was on the wall, and she was like, "This will be nice." Bop, took it. There you go.
Oh, let's go make copies of this and hand it out to Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it's all about joy, right? This whole event is about spring joy. And I guess for Ava, that's stealing the Drifter stuff and selling it to you.
She don't like that, man, dude. That's why she's doing it.
Hey, man, she ain't got no more shaders. She can't sell no more masks to you. She got to make a living somehow. And if that's by hot lifting some exotics from an old dredging, then Granny's got to do what Granny's got to do, I guess.
Yeah, man. Can she just give me Glowhoo back?
No.
Oh, I might actually put money into Eververse to get that back.
I would pay actual human money for Glowhoo.
I put $5 in for that Arc Strider twirl.
Did you?
I put 15 down for all of them.
There you go.
And I don't even play Hunter.
Yeah. There you go, Bungie. You got these guys to spend money on Eververse. You know, I wonder why that's not a thing, actually, now that I think about it. There are a lot of really cool Nightlight shaders from Destiny 1 that we don't really have much of in D2, and I pay money for them.
I know it's weird, and I'm mad about it.
Yeah.
Every time I think about it, I get super mega upset, dude. Like
Super mega upset.
all of the SRL shaders, the original Festival of the Lost shaders, like the Candlelight, Candlelight was so dope. It was
Candlelight
Oh,
was
yeah.
cool.
it was
was
so
solid.
cool, and we don't have them here, and it makes me a sad panda.
Yo, like the Midas shader, the pure gold.
Oh, you can have that with
Midas shader.
Callus's Elite though.
Yeah, that's
Kind
true.
of. But you got to do the raid for that. And I don't
Yeah.
want to go run Callus. But yeah, dude, like we had a lot of really shiny shaders in D1, especially with you're right, Sparrow Racing League. Some of the
Mhm.
shiniest, most glowiest, if that's a word, shaders came from that mode. And
Oh,
I
remember
like
Shimmer?
Shimmer, yeah.
Shimmer's
I
the black
loved-
and the black and glowy blue one.
It was like black and like the blue was luminescent. It was
yeah,
great.
made you look like a Tron character.
I miss being a nightlight in Destiny, and I kind of want that back. And they're expanding on the Eververse store here with these exclusive emotes and stuff like that. Give me some shaders.
Also, I'd like to point out that I think their price point was much better than some of the previous bundles that they've done.
Yeah.
Ah, you mean $10 for an emote now?
Yes,
That I
yes,
definitely didn't buy
I-
when it came to the Iron Banner one.
oh yeah, okay,
Don't know what you're talking about, man.
yeah, he's guilty, Chad. Yeah, like those previous emotes, like they've been $10 for the bundle, and these were $5 a pop. That's the kind of pricing that I honestly can get on board with if they're going to do like just singular emote bundles like that. Like, yes, just
Yeah, I can
keep
dig
that up, please.
Yeah.
That's the kind of expansive stuff I was looking forward to with the Eververse store. Okay, you give us little exclusive stuff like that that goes in and out of rotation.
Yeah,
And if I see something I like, I'll be happy to throw money at it.
not gonna lie, I logged in that day fully expecting to spend like $30 on
$10 a
Eververse.
piece.
Oh my
That's what I
God.
thought they were gonna be, because that's what they've done previously. They've always had
Historically, yeah.
like a cool looking emo, and then they'll put like 3 Fire Team medallions and an engram or 2 in that mess. So,
Yeah.
but no, I'm glad this is the type of like microtransactions that I can get behind with. Show me what I'm getting at a reasonable price,
Yeah.
and I will gladly support you.
Yeah, and I think a good road forward with that would be, to bring back some of the cosmetic stuff from D1,
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Mhm.
emotes from Destiny 1 that were fantastic that aren't in D2.
Yeah.
That I would love to see them bring back as they could bring that back as Eververse stuff, and I'd be happy to put money on that. But specifically the shaders,
Yeah.
Give me my shaders, my chatter white. Give me my super black. I don't care if we have a D2 equivalent. Give it to me in name, and I'll spend money anyway because I'm a nostalgia boy, and I like that kind of stuff.
For sure, dude.
I dig it. Did you guys see some of the new Eververse stuff we're getting with the Revelry?
No.
Yeah, like the bunny ghost and the
Oh, yeah.
ladybug.
The Ladybug ship and the
There was
It's
the half that I didn't even realize that was a ladybug.
Yep.
Seriously? Oh my God.
the Ladybug ghosts. We've got like a dragonfly ship, the golf emote, which is
Oh
probably
yeah,
my
that's
favorite.
interesting.
Oh, dude, we're sitting here talking about emotes being $5. Watch them go back to the $10 model.
No, Bungie, don't. If you're listening, stop.
They already got you.
Already,
already
let's
got you
stop
on
you
the line.
right there. No.
Reeling you in. But
Oh,
of
man.
course, we're getting a new armor set.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a new armor set?
Yeah, we are. We're getting I think it's. We're getting 2 armor sets with this.
Yeah.
One from the Verdant Forest itself, and then one from Eververse.
Vernal Growth is the Eververse
The
one.
Vernal Growth. Yeah, that's the Eververse one. I remember that got data mined a week or so ago. Basically, as soon as update 2.2.1 went live, people started pulling out the Eververse stuff we were going to be getting.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the Eververse one is new. The armor that you get from the Verdant Forest is not.
Yeah. But it's gonna. But something they're doing that is interesting is the Vernal Growth and the Infinite, or the which one? I'm getting confused. Which one is the Eververse set? Is that Vernal Growth or is that?
Vernal Growth is Eververse set.
Yes.
Okay. the point being, both of them are going to have perks that make your Reveler's tonic abilities better. And I think that's an interesting way to do it. So if you want to spend money and buy your armor, you can, or you can just play the game and get it.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing that we haven't seen in Destiny before, right? We haven't seen that in Destiny 2? Is like being able to purchase gear that has abilities like that?
I don't
Gambit
think so.
Prime.
Can you buy Gambit Prime gear?
Oh, well, not buy, but in terms that it comes with like a perk set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we've ever had an Eververse armor set that's been tied to like a specific activity or had specific abilities that are unique to it.
Yeah.
And so this is probably the first time they've ever done something like that, which is very Warframe-esque, if you were to ask me. Which, I guess it doesn't really bother me as long as there's an avenue in game to get this stuff just by gameplay. Then you can put whatever you want in the Eververse store, except exotics. Don't put exotics in the Eververse store. Yeah, don't make me spend money for Hawkmoon. I will be extremely upset if I have to buy Hawkmoon from Tess.
No, similar
rolls up into the tower, opens up a box. I found this. Would you like it?
Fenchurch found this.
Shoot him with your 1,000 voices and take it.
Similar to the previous events, we're getting 2 engrams, so we'll get the bright engram that we normally get, and we'll get the Revelry engram as well. So double drops, and it's also on the knockout list for the Revelry engram, so you shouldn't be getting duplicates until you've collected everything that the Revelry has to offer.
Dude, I'm glad they're keeping that system. The prismatic matrix may have gone away, but I'm glad they're keeping the sort of knockout system. So as long as you're playing, if you keep playing, you'll probably get everything new that's being offered there that isn't unique to being purchased.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's definitely a good move forward.
That's something that I think it's fantastic that they've kept, because man, someone like the first Dawning, you never were able to get a piece of armor because of specifically that reason.
I did not get I got one piece of armor. I got a helmet. For the entire Dawning, I got one helmet.
Yeah.
This was for the first Dawning in D2. Yeah, and so I missed out on that awesome looking armor set. And I was none too pleased with that, because I played plenty of the game during that time period, and to only get one piece of armor was really, really frustrating. So I'm glad they've moved on with this knockout system, so that if you keep playing the game, chances are you'll get everything you need.
Yeah,
right on. I dig it. The Revelry's going on from April 16th to early May, right? I want to say like May 6th or May 7th.
Yes,
it is May 7th.
Yeah, so it's going to be a pretty long event.
You'll have plenty of time to collect all of the things.
Yeah, absolutely, which is good, and it's going to lead us right into basically the rundown until Season of Opulence, because guess what? We're almost there. We're almost at the Season of Opulence, just like that. This seems to have gone by a little bit faster than I remember the Season of the Forge going by. Maybe it was just that December was such a drag. But we've got a 3-week event going, and then we're in May, and we're just a couple of weeks away from the next and final season of content for the annual pass.
Oh, we're getting Revelry before Opulence.
Yes.
Weird.
We are getting Revelry before Opulence. But that's weird. It's kind of funny to me how quickly the season of the Drifter seems to be going by for me.
Yeah.
Especially considering this was considered to be the season with the least amount of content. People thought, this was going to be the drag of a season, since it's mostly focused around PvPvE game mode, and not a lot of people like to play that.
Yeah. But
I dig it though.
Yeah, I found myself this week kind of digging more into the Reckoning and Gambit Prime again, and like I really like the Reckoning. I just love that world space and feel like it's a solid addition to the overall Destiny world. That
I agree. I think it's a fun game mode. It's a nice little self-contained activity that you can just go in and run and farm for unique gear. It's what a lot of other things in the game needed, you know, a reason to grind it, something unique to it. Although I think with this week's update, they made it so that the weapons that were dropping in the Reckoning can now drop from Gambit Prime, at least some of them. But yeah, I think I like it. It's like, it reminds me a lot of the Archon's Forge, I want to say, back in Destiny 1, except as its own real dedicated activity with matchmaking and all that kind of thing. I like it. I think it's cool.
I like it when I'm playing with friends.
Oh, come on, Nim. You got some blueberry stories for us?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's just any super interesting stories. It's just a matter of, you know, I'm trying to get armor for my Titan and my Hunter, and going in there, I see very few Warlocks that are running well, and the ones that are there, they refuse to change from Nuke Nova Bomb
bro.
too well.
I've got a Cataclysm. I've got this.
Like, I gotta Cataclysm everything, and it sucks because I don't think I've maybe collected one tier 3 set on my Titan because of that, just because I can't find proper people to queue up with. So I ultimately just stopped trying to get it all together.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's just frustrating, and not to mention the boss stomp mechanic as well. Like,
yeah,
please, dude. Like, I remember we were there. There was one instance we were at the last part of the bridge before going into the boss fight, and this the Lake of Shadows boss. We were all focused on the one in front of us that we didn't see the two that spawned behind us. Next thing we know, it's just one of those dudes just charges up a shield and whoop, everybody just goes off the bridge and we run out of time.
Once everybody dies, that section's done. You do not have enough time to res and get back to where you are, and it's so frustrating.
Yep.
And
it's frustrating too that, like, if you have like maybe one person that dies like on the way up, you have another person that's trying to struggle through the ads to go and get them, which then leaves not enough people on the bridge, and eventually like everybody dies or you get stomped off and it's all over.
It's a bad time.
Yeah, it's like, this just brings up, like, in my mind, it's like, okay, if people are having a hard time with this type of matchmaking activity, but we want matchmaking for raids, that's gonna be a yikes from me, Chief.
I
don't see how that would work in the long run, honestly.
I want it to so bad, but then I always take myself to the example of, do you think you could matchmake clear Kingsfall?
No.
Now? Probably. Not
at the time.
Not then.
Not the
And
time.
like, do you think you could matchmake clear Valkor?
No.
No. And I, you know, it breaks my heart because the vast majority of players don't do raids.
Right.
Like, the vast majority of active accounts on the game have not raided it even once. They've like never stepped foot into the Last Wish, and that sucks because it's such good content and there's such great rewards for it. But like, and I want a matchmaking solution to be available there, and like the only thing I can think of is for Bungie to dumb down the raids.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a knock on Division, because I love the Division, but there's no complicated content in the Division 1 or 2.
Right.
Like, even with the I forget what the raids were called in the first game, but even with those activities, it wasn't complicated stuff. It was like mostly a game of control. Like, you would go to one spot, hold it down until a meter filled, pick up something, bring it somewhere else, install it, hold it down until a meter filled, and that was most of the mechanics in the in-game activities in the first Division. And that's what I'm expecting from the raid in Division 2. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be that. Because there's matchmaking for it. And like, when you have matchmaking with people who, you know, maybe aren't going to communicate with other people, that doesn't work so well in a puzzle heavy environment. And to me, that really sucks, because Bungie's raid design is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And
we wouldn't want to see that get compromised because people want matchmaking.
Yeah, you know, I want a way for people to be able to matchmake for this stuff, and I think that Bungie does too. That's why guided games are a thing, and that's why they're as convoluted as they are, where you basically have to join up and hope that there's another full team that's also in the guided games playlist that's looking to carry somebody.
Yeah.
But I just think of those encounters and I think there's no way a rando group would get Valcour done. That's, unless like all the members of Redeem randomly came together in matchmaking and everybody knew what to do. There's no way a group of randos is going to matchmake and get Spire of Stars finished.
Yeah.
And that sucks. It does. I don't know what Bungie can do on that front.
Keep it as is.
Yeah.
Keep it as is.
Honestly think in my limited time doing guided games, it was tough enough getting somebody to jump onto a microphone. I don't think if you expand that program to be all encompassing, that's not going to work.
Yeah. Incursion. That was the name of the division raids. My bad. There we go. First game they were called Incursions. It just came to me. But yeah, and I guess the only thing to do would be to keep some other option out there in PvE that people can matchmake for, which I think is what Bungie has been doing with game modes like The Reckoning. You can get in-game stuff, really good stuff. Shoot, the Last Man Standing is the new darling shotgun, right, Nim? I watched those posts to Twitter, Nim.
Yeah,
and,
thing is gnarly.
You basically almost one-shot that boss, didn't you?
Well, he had about like maybe 30% health left because it's hard to coordinate that with a blueberry that doesn't want to use chat. So
I
yeah,
apologize, Nim.
me and Crit Buff, we were running strikes last night, just trying to test out the bottom tree striker changes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have that Last Man Standing shotgun with the 1-2 punch, where well, that's a different perk.
What's 1-2 punch?
1-2 punch is where if you land every pellet of the shot into a target, 1-2 punch activates, and then you'll do increased melee damage right after. So luckily last night the modifiers were brawlers, so we're like, all right, well, we're gonna put on Worm God's Caress and just punch the living shit out of everything, and then see what we can do. And I think last night that boss was like 30% health left. I had like the last chunk, so I was just building up my what is it called? Burning Fists, the Worm God's perk, and shot him with the shotgun, and then meleeed him, and immediately just took out that last bar. So yeah, it was kind of nutty. One of those big ass wanted bosses, you can just one shot melee them.
Jesus,
there are crazy options, man.
It's insane. Yeah, it's insane. And so another thing that was pretty great, TBL, Ashen, Crit Buff, and we were on a Gambit stream a couple nights ago.
Yeah.
And Mr. Crit Buff was playing around with his Arc Strider, and I want to say it's the Liar's Handshake.
Yeah.
Little busted.
Yeah, it's a little busted. That man was soloing Primevals at 2 times the stack, 100% damage Crit Buff.
Yep.
It was.
We just sat back and covered invasions, and he just killed the Primeval on his own.
Yeah, actually, you know what? As you guys chat here, I have a clip here that Crit got from the stream, and I'll post it in the chat so you guys can see how actually ridiculous that is. Cause
and it has to do with mixing like combination blow.
Yeah,
the major buffs that got. I think that maxes out at like a 180% damage buff, and then starting your super, and you just deal ridiculous amounts of damage.
So there's the link in chat there. So you guys are going to see it from my point of view. You'll see I'm focused on an invader as Crit Buff is just swinging his pole away at the Primeval. And when you look at the post game results, it's 100% damage all Crit Buff. Wow. It's unbelievable.
Had nothing to do with us. That was just all that man. Combination blow, Raiden Flux, rest in peace to whatever Primeval you're facing. And I do believe Bungie made a statement about that saying, whoops, We're going to be doing something about that sometime in the future. Because like right now, I think you can even burn down Primevals at like 1 stack of the
Possibly,
Envoy
yeah.
buff.
Hmm.
It's just so much damage. It's so much damage you can put out with it right now.
Well then,
Go
I know
enjoy.
what I'm doing tonight after Game of Thrones.
That's right. Go enjoy it because it is massively like burning down with more damage than I think probably even more damage than the old triple Chaos Reach Geomags buff. Like,
Yeah.
and that was fast. That was a lot of damage really quickly.
fast.
And this
Wow.
seems to do way more. But dialing things back to the shotgun really quickly, something I was thinking about, we were talking about 2 perks there. 1-2 punch, which is the one where if you land all the pellets, then you get a significant melee increase. And I was mentioning Swashbuckler. Those are 2 unique perks to that weapon. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think those perks are on any other weapon in the game.
No. I think Swashbuckler is on the Lonesome.
Okay, that
I
would
think
make
they're
sense. Too.
I think they at least Swashbuckler's tied to like some of the other Gambit Prime weapons,
Yeah.
but I think 1-2 punch is specifically the shotgun.
That's cool because those 2 perks are brand new to the game. They came with the Season of the Drifter, and they're really powerful. Like Swashbuckler in and of itself basically gives you the same amount of damage as like a maxed out Rampage. And it's pretty easy to get. For those who don't know, Swashbuckler is the weapon gains increased damage, I do believe, from melee kills and from normal kills. So all you have to do is get a kill with the weapon, and then basically you get like a maxed out Rampage. It's
Wow.
it's a little silly. It's a little bit silly. And as far as I know, it's only available on the Reckoning and Gambit Prime weapons. Good stuff though.
Yeah,
like
no, they're pretty crazy. So apparently people have been reporting that Geomags and Thorn are kind of busted.
Really?
Yeah. So Cosmo went on Reddit and they were talking about Geomags and Chaos Reach, and he said that they looked into it with 2 builds side by side, pre and post patch, and they weren't able to see any changes to damage output from Chaos Reach or reduce extended super extension from Geomags. So I don't know where that's coming from in the chat, but there is a bug currently where enemies won't take any damage from Chaos Reach if they were shot by Thorn with Soul Devourer active.
Oh,
that's so weird.
Yeah, and
So
that's actually
unequipped
kind
Thorn.
of happened before, where I got hit with an Axion Dart mid Chaos Reach, and it seemed to completely null out my damage.
You know what? I think I might have experienced something like that too, because I can definitely remember a couple of times where I'm using Chaos Reach and like it doesn't seem like it's doing anything.
Yeah,
I can definitely pick out a couple memories like that. But that's so. I wonder why that would prevent you from dealing damage.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's something with Thorn's dot being active and Chaos Reach. It's too much for it to.
Well, it'd have to be the enhanced dot because they said it's when Soul Devourer is active, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So something there with the enhanced dot is preventing.
It can't do all the calculations at the same time.
It's too much. Giving her all she's got, Captain. We can't calculate any more damage here.
Shit.
That's so weird. Hopefully they get that figured out, though, because I like Thorn. Thorn's a good... Although, you probably shouldn't be using Thorn and Gambit. Maybe not.
Probably not.
Why aren't you using Lord of Wolves?
Yeah.
Stop that. Especially now that you can get it from Xur because of, oopsie.
Yeah.
There were a couple of oopsies this week when it comes to Xur. For about a day or so, we PC and Xbox plebs got access to Wave Splitter thanks to our buddy Xur.
Cheers!
You picked it. Yeah.
That
cheers,
time.
PlayStation plebs. Thanks to update 2.2.1, making it so that the faded engram, the isochronal engram, dropped Forsaken exotics. Someone at Bungie forgot to hit the no button, and Lord of Wolves and Wave Splitter were added to that loot pool, so you could get both of them from it. So people who stuck by Xur through reset on Monday were able to buy from Xur again on Tuesday after the update went live, and they got Wave Splitter. I think Goth was talking about it on stream and on Twitter and whatnot. So they got to play with that for a little bit until Bungie emergency patched it and restricted access to it. If you were one of the people who got Wave Splitter, you'll notice you can no longer equip it until September of this year, because that is when their contract with Sony, of course, is finished. Sad. I'm glad we you got a chance to play with it, but unfortunately, that's one of those things that Bungie's, their hands are tied on that one. That's a Sony deal. So they're contractually obligated to take that toy away from you. Rest in peace. But not Lord of Wolves. You can still get Lord of Wolves from Faded Engrams right now, because despite the fact that that's supposed to be tied to the spider bounties, apparently it is in the loot pool for the Faded Engram. So go drop 97 legendary shards, you might get a Lord of Wolves. Good gun. It's a really good gun.
Silly gun.
Yeah, definitely a ridiculous gun. But, speaking of Update 2.2.1 and some of the changes that went into effect, have you guys had a chance to play with any of the updated ARC subclasses here for ARC Week?
Yeah.
You digging any of them?
They're about... For me, I can tell, like, slight differences in damage here and there, but it's... I don't know.
Kind of lost on you.
Kind of lost on me. Numbers-wise. But then again, I've never been a numbers player. I've always been like a feel guy. It's been an interesting week. For those.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff like NEM and PvE, schmelting bosses with silly melee combinations and stuff like that. I played around with a lot of Stormtrance this week. I can confirm that super is still hot garbage.
Yeah.
But the neutral game for Stormtrance now is kind of ridiculous. Arcnades in PvP especially are ludicrously powerful right now with certain builds. You get the Crown of Tempest on, you run Top Tree Stormtrance, which is like Arc Web.
Okay.
The changes that they made to the Arc Web, which is what chains electricity between enemies, is it's pretty strong. They made it so that it no longer chains just once.
Yeah,
it chains like 5
times, right?
And it can bounce back and forth between the same target. So if you throw an Arc Bolt, for example, into a room where at least 2 people are standing within like 6 or 7 meters of one another, it just goes, poof, hit. They're dead. They're dead. If you throw it, say, onto a control point at the beginning of the game, let's say the entire enemy team rushes for B, and you just drop an Arc Bolt there. Yeah. 5 kills.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, dude.
It's ridiculous. And with the Arc Web boost, you get melee energy back from your grenade hits, and melee hits give you your grenade energy back. So you basically, if you're linking arc damage, have almost 100% uptime for your grenades and melees, and it's just constant chaining of arc damage. It's a little silly. It's a little silly right now. So if you're out there in PvP right now and you see a Stormtrance, you see a guy with the Crown of Tempest on, don't stand so close to your teammate, because if you get hit or if he gets hit, you both die.
Oh god. Or is in chat, and he's like, that's 50 damage per hit, and the problem is that your shield doesn't tick down when you're hit by it. Ugh.
Just boop, 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 boop. It's a little crazy right now for the Arc Web, and you can mix it with so many other builds to just chain arc damage all over the place. It's it's pretty fun. It's not going to help you much in Mayhem. Don't try it in Mayhem right now, because everybody's just going to pop super, turn at you, and laugh as you try to Emperor Palpatine them, and they bonk you with a hammer or sneak up behind you, stab you, and backflip. That's what Spectral Blades does. But in like normal PvP, and especially I noticed it a lot in comp, those Arcnades are pretty darn good. They're pretty darn good. And the fact that you can just get so much energy back from using them, it's strong. It's very strong. I dig it. I've been digging it.
So I've been... Oh, go on.
I was just going to say, I haven't had much time to play with the other classes, so I was going to ask you guys about them.
Yeah, so I've actually been having a hard time balancing the classes that I want to play with, because I've been having a lot of fun with the Bottom Tree Striker in PvP as well.
Yeah.
With Worm God's Caress as well. Because if you manage to catch people relatively close to one another, frontal assault and knockout, you can, and if you have Worm God's Caress, once you get that initial melee kill, you can one shot other people, and because I want to say it's either frontal assault or knockout increases your melee range. Yeah, you can lunge at people pretty well. You're just swinging fists everywhere, and everybody's just catching them. And it's just one shot melees for days. It's so fun. The other class that obviously I've been having a lot of fun with. Sorry, helicopter. Thank you very much for that.
It's okay. They're just coming to get you. It's fine.
They're coming to get you because they heard about that build. Stop it. You're not allowed to one shot melee.
Is Nova Warp got brought back a little bit, to its former glory. And let me tell you, it feels fantastic again.
Feels good,
I think this is the change that should have gone in effect initially, and not the absolute just murder that was that nerf.
Ouch.
Yeah, no, it was. I think Nova Warp feels really, really solid now. I'm so glad that it's usable again, at least in PvP. I use it a lot in Gambit, so yeah, I'm glad that I can. It's an option.
And most people would look and say Gambit, but you're an invader, and it's still really good for invasions.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, dude.
Plus, you can blink without breaking a map.
Yeah. I still find myself having to switch out of Blink and Emerald Coast because it's still broken.
Yeah, I've played around a lot with Nova Warp this week as well, and man, it feels good. It feels good to have that class back in an acceptable form. Man, that nerf before, that super nerf,
was way too much. It was
way too much, and maybe that's coming back to slap some knife boys sometime in the future.
Knife boys, get out of here,
little stabby sons. Because there were no spectral changes in this update, right?
No,
not yet.
Stop it right now.
Season of Opulence comes around.
So Dan,
y'all are gonna hurt, dude.
Yeah, a slap is coming, and so Dan, of course, I play spectrals whenever I'm on my hunter, so I feel the pain. What changes do you think they would make? What changes do you think they could make or should?
To hunter, or to spectral?
To spectral. If you had to see a nerf, what would it be?
I would say the amount of shield, the amount of health that they have while they're in super. I think that's probably the biggest complaint that people have outside of I just see them everywhere. It's just because they're super powerful and
they're good.
Yeah, it's a solid super. But yeah, I think you take the health and the shield down a skosh. I think you're in a good spot, but
you know what? It's interesting because everybody, of course, has their opinions, and anytime in this community, anytime in the Destiny community, we have a class that starts to see a lot of use. Everybody starts shouting nerf from the mountaintops, and they want all kinds of insane nerfs. I personally agree with you, Dan. I think the only change that really needs to happen with Spectral is they need less armor. Just make it less armor so that I can shotgun melee them if I catch that Invisible Boy coming around the corner to stab me in the butt. And then I think that super will be in a good spot. I know it lasts a long time. Oh. Serenading me with disagreement there. What do you think, Nim? What do you think they deserve?
They need a slight increase in cost of using their R1 because they can navigate an entire fucking map by just swiping.
I can agree with that. Maybe do the same thing they did with the Nova Warp's Blink.
Just not super harsh, but I've seen them just swipe, and they're across the map getting a team kill.
Yeah, you and I were talking about this on stream the other day. The R1 attack isn't offense. It's a mode of transport.
Yeah.
It's their travel option because you move so quickly and it doesn't take up enough energy for it to really be a detriment. So I think maybe, yeah, you know what? I could agree with that. In addition to maybe dumping the armor a little bit, bumping up the energy costs of that swipe would probably be a good idea.
I can see that. That's a good spend. Like if I had to make two changes that wouldn't completely neuter it, it would be those.
Yeah, and it's in the only reason why I suggest that as well is because one, they can transport like really fast over the map, but you guys also have Quizinvest
Yeah.
that will give you some of that super fast.
And Xur sold it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
I am
they
well
do.
aware. I did the video for Xur, and I jumped off the map when I saw that he was selling Quizinvest that week.
well,
I
I'm
do
I'm
also-
glad to see that you're re-rest.
Yeah. You know what? It was
goes for.
it was just natural response because that's what he does in a game of comp whenever he sees the thing. Whoever.
Oh, absolutely, dude! You're not
Activated
gonna touch
spectrals.
me.
All right, jump off the cliff, everybody. Just jump
Everybody
off.
jump off.
Don't give him the kill. Just jump off the cliff. Yeah, so I could see those being the two changes that they make. Because I'm okay with most with its duration. Yeah, it lasts an entire round in comp, but as long as they make it so that the swing takes up more energy and it's got less or less armor, so I can kill it.
I can get
That's
behind that
Yeah.
a lot more than just completely taking it down to the ground. We don't want to see the same thing happen that happened with arc blades in D1. That
Can I
was-
get a moment of silence for Arcblade?
No.
Perfect.
It had
timing as usual.
intrinsic quick draw. It was so good.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, Blade Dance was so good. Year
Yeah.
1 of D1.
yeah.
Ah, such a good class, such a good class. But yeah, that's the only change I'd make. You know, that actually ties into something we talked about in previous weeks when Aura was here. Something he's particularly passionate about. There needs to be ways for you to kill supers because it's
Yeah.
hard. It is hard to kill a Guardian in their super right now, and I wonder what they could do with that. Maybe just dropping armor on supers across the board.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think all the supers need that? I don't know.
Need what?
Like, do you think all supers could use a nerf to armor in PvP across the board?
Not all of them.
Boost boost the incoming damage with specials or with shakas and stuff.
Yeah. Rather than decreasing, just I'm for breaking stuff.
Same.
I thought this week was gonna be. This kind of goes into the week rather than the supers, but I thought this week was gonna be kind of broken as shit. And I was gonna have a lot of fun just going in with arc stuff, just testing it out and seeing where the imbalances are. I think once you break something, you see what needs to be fixed
Right.
overall. But like I don't know. It was a neat event to test a patch.
Yeah, because you know what? And Nim, you and I talked about this about how
we've talked in great lengths about this.
they might regret calling this Arc Week because this wasn't really supposed to be an event. It was just a week where they put in a patch that primarily affected Arc things, and I guarantee you, some dev behind the scenes is like, "Oh, hey, this update's gonna change a lot of Arc stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just make it a thing and celebrate Arc this week? You know, Arc bounties and Arc Singe everywhere, and then just make that a thing." And now we got Arc Week, and it's not really much of an event at all because it's not an event. It's just supposed to be this is just the week where we got an update.
It's a sandbox update.
Yeah.
But because they gave it a name, people look at it as an event, and that sets certain expectations. I kind of wish they would have done more. Like, I kind of wish rather than having Arc Singe available in activities, we had Arc Burns. Give us 2 to 3 times Arc damage.
Put it
to
in
go along with
everything.
your Arc changes.
In
Everything.
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 I like raids would have been stupid this week.
Oh, dude. I don't know why that's not a thing. I don't know why modifiers and raids aren't a thing.
Well, they are. They're just not in the raids that we play.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right about that. But yeah, that would have been cool. Like, if we logged in and for 1 week we have Arc Singe or whatever in raids, we have Arc Singe in Gambit, where you're incentivized to take off that Lord of Wolves and put on something like a Risk Runner. That would have been cool. And
Yeah.
I kind of almost wish they would have done a bit more than that too.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like an easy thing from the outside looking in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But seeing it on the calendar as such
Mhm.
did bring an expectation,
Right.
and I guess
That's
that's
the problem.
on me.
Giving it a name.
That
Yeah.
was the problem.
No, I don't think so though. I think giving it a name like that and then putting it in the calendar, it gives a misconception that it was an event when in reality it was just a sandbox update, which
It was
is
just an
how
update week.
which is how I think it should have been posted in the calendar instead of giving it a name.
Right. Because they advertised it in the roadmap a while back.
Yeah.
They
Well,
advertised
they
Arc
added
Week.
it in the last one that came with
Yeah.
Season of the Drifter because the one before that it wasn't even there.
Yeah, it wasn't even there. And so when they did that, yeah, I do think, they set the expectation for it being an actual event. And indeed, that was some of the comments I got this week. Like, wow, what a disappointing event. And I have to say, well, it wasn't
It's
really
not.
an event. It was
It's
just
not
a
an
week
event, yeah.
where a sandbox update came out that primarily focused on Arc. And
Yeah.
Bungie thought it'd be
Yeah.
fun to go on Arc Week.
And they
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I love the fact that they brought back the mission for Thunderlord.
Yes.
I think that was
Thunderlord.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and if we could get that in rotation, please, that would be awesome too.
Make it a daily mission, please.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's if they had named it something like Sandbox Test Arc,
Mhm.
that would have been a much better indication of what we should probably expect. And if
Yeah.
they threw in the Thunderlord quest as a little surprise, everybody would be like, oh, hey, look what they did. That's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's just a matter of setting those expectations. Because again, as in chat, Bud Coffee 9 mentions that does having this arc week indicate future solar weeks or void weeks?
No.
I doubt they brand it as such.
Never again.
Here's I think we probably will see it because there are some updates that could be done to like the bottom tree nova because really that tree is only good for devour. The super
Yeah.
for that is
Yep.
kind of underwhelming now, especially with how cataclysm is.
Yeah. Cataclysm's big.
They could probably do updates on top tree sentinel and
Yeah.
it's a lot of the other subclasses that you don't really see in play. And I can definitely see them branding those as Arc Week. And now we know what to expect out of something like that. But I personally believe that it should just have been Sandbox Update 2.2.1 on the roadmap.
Yeah. Or, advertise it as that when you add Arc Week there.
Yeah.
Arc Week.
Yeah.
Sandbox update.
Yeah.
There
Test
we go.
this out. Seems
people
cool.
So people don't think it's like a revelry style event.
Yeah.
That's
Which
what people.
I think Revelry is going to be exactly what I expected out of Arc Week. Like I think
Something
it's
to
gonna
do.
it's just gonna break everything. And
Yeah.
like I'm down with that. I'm down with doing that for a couple weeks, having unabashed fun with that. But yeah. It's all about branding. It's all about marketing. How are you gonna market this thing, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's probably a lesson we'll see as they move forward with this. But man, I would have loved to see Arc Burn pop up and just have double arc damage and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been pretty dope.
If all of the bosses had been Arc bosses too in Nightfalls, that would have been a solid change.
I would have taken that because it would have meant that Lake of Shadows would be of it because he's Arc, right?
Yeah.
The Taken, yeah.
That's a Titan Deal arc. You know, it would have been great if it's like they put in that arc burn, and then out of nowhere, it's just Omnigul's like a reprised strike.
No, yeah, that would have been awesome. Shit.
Ugh.
Oh shit.
Ugh.
Remember those days when the Nightfall was Omnigul with arc burn?
Oh my god.
Well, we're sitting in the room, boys. we're sitting back in the room. Don't let the thrall hit you on the way out. Oh my goodness, those Nightfalls.
Oh my god, it's so good. But yeah, I don't know. That would have been fun. Like Xur sell stuff that was only Arc. You could
Yeah.
these kind of simple things would have
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, it's kind of
Hold it
odd that they
together.
didn't do that. We had the Jade Rabbit available this weekend. I want to say he could have sold Getaway Artist, Risk Runner. It's kind of odd that they wouldn't do that, but at the very least, with Arc Week, I got my Thunderlord quest back. I was able to revisit the Cosmodrome. That's all I wanted. That makes it okay for me because I love that mission and I love being able to go back to old Russia. That's where I live.
Yeah.
So, alongside Arc Week and all this, we had something else happen this week. Something you've been waiting for a long time, Dan.
Please tell me.
Not Arms Week, but the rewards from Arms Week finally made their way into the. Do you want to bet this week was originally just Arms Week and like they just scrapped that whole strike at Nightfall Night?
Yes.
Yes, very yes. We had the exotic catalyst drop this week. All of them.
Yep.
Well, not all of them, but most of them. We had what is it? Prospector, Suros, Rat King.
Hardlight.
What else am I missing?
Hardlight.
Hardlight. Yeah, those are finally in the game. Have you guys had a chance to go after any of them?
I got Prospector and Hardlight.
I haven't gotten any of them.
Same. None. And
Yep.
that bums me out a little bit because I hear some of them are pretty good. The Suros Catalyst is good. Being able to heal off of every kill. Suros is already a pretty decent auto rifle in PvP.
Yeah.
So that's there's definitely utility there. Have you finished the Prospector Catalyst then?
I have not finished either of them. I heard what the Hardlight one does, and I had no intentions of finishing that. And I feel like Prospector is good enough as is when
It's
I need
really
to
good.
use it on Riven, so I have absolutely no incentive of doing that as well.
So what is the because these catalysts have been in the game since last summer before Forsaken when they were originally announced. But it's been a while. I've forgotten. What does the Hardlight Catalyst do?
Increased stability.
What?
Increased stability.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because fucking reasons, I guess.
The Hardlight is already like not a hard gun to
Already-
control.
Yeah. It has unbearable screen shake, which I think would have been a fantastic thing to remove with a masterwork. But no, you get more stability.
What, you don't want?
Yeah.
You don't want to have an epileptic fit?
It's so weird because your screen does shake like crazy,
Yeah.
but like your bullet deviation doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just the crazy screen shake, and that's so weird. That's something
Yeah.
they should probably look at changing.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a bummer. Because again, I heard what it does is like, oh, it increases stability. All right, well, I'm just not going to complete this ever.
Sleeping on that one. What does the Prospector Catalyst do? Just additional ammo?
I believe it gives it additional ammo. I want to say like 2 extra in the mag. I think. Don't quote me
Okay.
on that. And I think it increases the blast radius as well.
Ooh, so you can blow more things up faster.
Yeah, but again,
like
I
that.
only use that now at Riven, and
Yeah,
it
be
works
careful at
fine
Riven.
as is. So what?
Yeah, dude.
Why do I need to go and
That's my
complete
favorite thing
this?
in the world right now. Is just because you can just go thunk, 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 thunk,
Yep.
directly into her mouth, and it's the best
Yeah.
thing. If it increases blast radius, I'd be worried about popping an eye now.
Yeah, with how big
Yeah,
the explosions
sure.
from Prospector are.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the trick. It's a trap. Don't activate the catalyst on Prospector. You're usually standing in front of a rally barricade or an Illuminafaction rift at Riven anyway. It's a trick.
Yeah.
They're trying to get you to accidentally blow up eyes.
And
Dude, so
the one that's interesting is in terms of completion is the Rat King one because you need other people in your fire team in order to complete that because they need to get kills and then that will count for you.
Just
So-
like everything else with the Rat King, it's a hassle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Oh,
So
man.
you have to be in a fire team with other people who are using
who
Rat
who
King
have Rat King.
Yeah.
and aren't getting kills.
Yep.
Is it just to get kills or what do you know what the threshold is?
I'm not sure what is the total threshold, but as long as the other people with Rat Kings are getting kills, that fills up your progress bar.
So I wonder if this is something you could just load up Shirochi or go into the Whisper mission and just sit with a fire team member
Yeah, just
Dude.
farm.
and scum. Oh my god, that sounds like an absolute hassle.
Yeah.
Dude, I did that to farm the lore for Thorn.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that for the catalysts.
Hmm.
No, there's
Wait,
just
so what does the catalyst for Rat King even do?
I can't remember that one. I can't remember.
Hushpesh 101 says that Rat King is heal on invisibility, but only gains progress on fire team. People using Rat King.
And healing for Rat King happens when you're reloading it, right? As I recall.
I don't know. Honestly.
We are your Destiny professionals here at Planet
Quick,
Destiny.
somebody get devious.
Why
I am
use it?
looking it up right
Why
now.
use it?
Yeah.
Because it's fun to shoot full auto, I guess.
Yeah, but like, there's other stuff in the game that I like to shoot.
Reloading after a kill grants a brief period of invisibility.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So
So as soon as you go invis,
as soon as you become a coward and hide from your enemies, you start to heal.
yeah,
Still, Rat King, it's a gimmicky weapon. There's some fun to be had when you've got 5 other people who are willing to make poor decisions. This still kind of brings me back to a conversation we've had on this show a couple of times when it comes to exotic catalysts and how there's such a difference between certain catalysts and their abilities. Like whereas some are fantastic and some are hardlight, extra stability when it's already got almost 100 stability, as I recall, and it doesn't stop screen shake. You get whispered breathing on one and extra stability on the other.
Yeah.
What could they? It kind of blows my mind that we could have the same design team working on creating incredibly powerful catalysts there for stuff like Whisper or shoot even Legend of Acreus. The catalyst for that is fantastic. Takes its magazine size up to what, 6?
Yep. Wait, no, 7.
Even better. It takes its magazine size up to 7, which is fantastic since the biggest downside of Acreus is, of course, the fact that you have to reload it after 2 shots.
yeah,
And then, like, you look at, I don't know, maybe something like Jade Rabbit, which is a fantastic weapon that most people sleep on, but the catalyst is like extra stability. I mean, you're not rapid firing that gun anyway. It's Jade Rabbit.
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, Aura has a pretty fantastic point of that. That catalysts, Masterworks, should radically change or add an effect to the weapons as is. Like a sunshot would be like, I don't know, you leave like a solar spot whenever you kill something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, and Sunshot needs so much love right now.
It does.
It does. Kind of sad. We still have a lot of exotics in the game right now that don't have any catalysts.
Armor.
That's another thing they mentioned, last summer. We're working on exotic armor catalysts and Masterworks and whatnot. We'll get back to you on that. 7 months later. Just nothing, but there's a lot of exotics too, all the new exotics. I'm still dreading and slightly aroused at the idea of a Thorn catalyst.
Jotun catalyst.
Increases
Ooh.
tracking.
Yeah.
I just got Jotun this week.
Must be
Oh,
nice.
you got it?
Got Jotun this week.
Oh,
Must be
I had
nice.
to grind out. I had to grind out 5 of the bounties for her. So I was literally on my last bounty of the week, or my last weapon frame of the week, my last powerful weapon frame of the week. I finally got it.
Oh my
That's
god.
pretty great, dude.
Immediately realized I'm only going to use this in PvP.
And Gambit.
Yeah. Oh man, and Gambit, dude, because people don't pay attention to sight lines. You just launch it and walk away.
Yeah.
Fun gun. It's a fun gun, and I would love to see. What kind of catalyst they would come up with for that. Better tracking is probably what they would do.
What if it turned into a swarm grenade?
Oh no. So if you don't hit your target,
Yeah.
it's like, no worries, Chief. I'll chase him down for you.
Yeah. Fuck, that would be awesome.
Oh my goodness, the only way I could see that working is if the swarms didn't do enough damage to fully kill. Like that's the only way I could see that working. So you get a consolation prize for bad aim.
Yeah, if it hit you at like if it took you like 150, if it took down the shield and then knocked you down 50, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I could see that, and man, it's a fun gun. I was when I was in comp this weekend, I was playing around a bit with that, and I was having a lot of fun with it. It's definitely a good weapon. I'm glad I finally got my hands on it. Oh man, what other exotics are in the game right now that don't have catalysts?
Well, so all of the Forsaken exotics, for
Right.
the most part.
Queen
Sunshot.
Breaker gives it back its double aim assist.
Okay, all right. We'll play it through. We'll play it through on this thought. Gives it back its double aim assist. What's the challenge though? What do you have to do to get that ridiculous amount of power back?
Get 1,000 Guardian kills in Gambit.
What if it's 1,000 body shot kills in Gambit?
I can dig that.
Because that would be harder than getting precision kills with Queen Breaker, because one shot isn't enough to body shot. Well, no, if you're a scum with a Well of Radiance or never mind. I never mind. I retract that point because I can just see scumbags with empowering rifts just body shotting everything. Never mind. Yeah, 1,000 kills in Gambit. I could see that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I see chat talking about Ace of Spades and Lord of Wolves.
Yeah.
I don't know what Lord of Wolves catalyst would be. Maybe
Kripov says Lord of Wolf Catalyst gives even less fun.
negatives. It actually cares even less than it does right now. Maybe a magazine size increase to Lord of Wolves, bump its magazine size from 30 to 60, because that would effectively double the ability of Release the Wolves. Because what that does is it increases the amount of shots you get per burst when you get a kill. And I think with an even higher magazine size, that would probably increase that even further. So it's just like you get one kill and then suddenly it's like,
oh my god.
I could dig it. I could really dig that. Chaperone. There's a good one. Chaperone.
What could you do to that? Because that thing is super gnarly already.
And Chaperone is like such a master of precise play in PvP in comp.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even know, dude. Because like, I think Chaperone has a pretty good. Like, it definitely takes some skill to use, and then once you get the Roadborne active, like the extra range that you get on that is just super gnarly.
It's a ludicrous weapon. Like, it's a ludicrously powerful weapon in the hands of people who are really precise. I've watched a lot of Chaperone play, and it's a really impressive gun. So I don't know if they maybe increased it. They could possibly increase the range further. I don't think they would, though.
You want to snipe with the thing?
You got to get a kill first. You got to get a kill and then
Yeesh.
cross map. Maybe increased reload speed, aim assist.
I could definitely see like reload speed and like game assist. Because that thing is super insane as is. Holy shit, man.
If the challenge for Chaperone were precision kills in PvP, like maybe 500 to 1,000 precision kills, then I would be perfectly fine with Chaperone having increased aim assist and like an increased reload speed, so that you can get in and out of combat and land your shots a little bit easier. That's a good reward for that kind of investment there.
Yeah,
and man, I love it.
See somebody talking about Le Monarque. I think if Le Monarque were able to get a catalyst, I would love for it to just completely negate the that you only have to do it at the perfect draw for the poison to activate. I think that would be pretty great.
What if it were you don't have to get a perfect draw, and it increased the size of the AoE when you activate that?
Oh, it needs that.
Because the AoE on Le Monarque is very small. Like you have to be within like, what is it, 4 meters?
I think so. It's super small.
It's very small. So I could see the catalyst for that being an increased size there. I could dig that. Yo, last word. Isn't that one hidden perk still in the database?
High Noon.
High Noon. Yeah, isn't that still in the database? That's not on last word, right? Look that up real quick. Because we swore that I'll go ahead and say it. I think I swore that this was going to be a perk on the last word when it came out. And it isn't. And for those who don't know, High Noon is a legendary trait that was added to the database when Forsaken came out. Its ability says this: readying this weapon grants a brief period of bonus precision damage. And I could see that working. on a weapon like Last Word for those out there who actually ADS with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, see, there's a lot of cool things they could do with some of the exotics out there, and I don't know, just something more than adding additional stability to a weapon that doesn't need it.
Yeah.
In the future,
Yeah.
I would like to see. What about? Okay, so we'll wrap this section up with this because you got this weapon again this week, Dan.
Okay. Hi. Hey.
1,000 voices. What is
Okay.
the catalyst for it?
Oh God. Extend draw time. So you'd be like, it gives it just like maybe an extra half second where you're able to draw on the enemy before it explodes.
I could see that.
I'd see. Yeah, I can see that, and maybe reduce the charge time.
Yeah.
Because ironically enough, the charge time for that is 1,000.
That is on purpose. So what would you cut it down to? Because that is a very high power weapon.
I'd say about maybe like to 800.
I could see that.
Nothing fucking broken, but something worth grinding for.
And Mills catalyst for 1K, increased drop rate.
But I think for that, the masterwork for 1,000 voices should be something as difficult as the masterwork for like World Line Zero.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So like would have to kill Riven with 1,000 voices, like for a certain percentage, like each reset.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that.
Like that'd be cool as hell.
Yeah, requiring raid completions and stuff like that. I think that'd be perfectly fine
Maybe
for a 1K.
what if instead it was tied to damage? Instead
You'd
of
get it done in 1 week with Prospector.
No, I mean like so it has to be like 1K damage to Riven.
I think I can see that, but things like Tractor Cannon, Will of Radiance, Melting Point would
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, never
boost
mind.
that to crazy levels of high.
That's why you make it like 1 billion. You don't even like
Absolutely.
you got to
Well,
do 1 billion
reach-
damage to her.
Reach 100 million damage on Riven.
Yeah.
I could see that. Something like that. Because that'd be several, because that'd be a lot of runs. That'd be like 50 runs, because you can get 2, 3, 4 million. Be a lot. The
Some
bare
people
minimum.
Still don't have it. I mean, like I only got it this week.
I don't
because-
have it.
Yeah, I got it the first chest this week. That like Radaka was in chat and I had him pick it for me. And so like I walked up, got it, was like, all right, I'm good. I never have to do this again, but I'm still gonna do it. But yeah, the drop rate was higher because another raid later on, 2 people got it while I was helping them out. So I don't know. It's out
Yeah,
there.
they bumped it.
Yeah, they definitely bumped it. I hadn't seen 2 drop in a raid prior, so
Yeah. That's just my poor RNG. We know. Everybody knows by now. My RNG sucks. It's awful. And it will forever be awful. Rest in peace to me. But yeah, I hope that's a conversation that's happening behind the scenes at Bungie, trying to figure out exactly what other exotic catalysts and masterworks they can make for armor and how they can make them all stand out and be worthy of the grind to get them. Because
yeah.
I think it's a pretty cool system. And I would love to see more of them. But all right, is it time for questions?
I believe so. Before we move on to questions though, I just have a question for the folks here in our or for you guys.
Okay.
How surprised were you? Did you guys read about the Sony thing with Bungie?
Yes.
How surprised were you to find out that Sony was behind the reason why we don't have cross-player cross-save?
Not at all. I suspected it for a while. Not even a little bit. Yeah, for those who don't know, I do believe it was Jason Schreier from Kotaku was on a podcast talking a bit about some Destiny stuff, and he mentioned in passing that one of the reasons, well, the reason why we don't have character cross save and like the ability, to transfer your stuff from PC and all that kind of stuff is because of Sony. Sony
Yep.
don't let that happen.
Yep.
Yeah, that did not come as a surprise to me at all, and I had suspected as much for a while.
Yeah.
Because Microsoft has been remarkably open with the idea of cross-platform play, transferring your saves and whatnot from platform to platform. They've been remarkably open with that, and remarkably consumer friendly. And Sony isn't. They ain't.
What, we
They
have
definitely
market
ain't.
share? We have prime market share? No, we're not going to do any of that. What are you
I'm
talking
not gonna
about?
work with you. That's
No,
how
we're
you
gonna work with you.
lose market share, Sony. That's how you lose your player base. And
Yeah.
it reminds me of like Fortnite when they wanted to keep their servers and everything separate, and like they were only strong armed into having cross-platform play
Because it's the biggest game in the world.
because Epic has money, and they said, "Yeah, you're gonna do this, or we're taking our money and our game away." And they were like, "All right, well, fine." And it's a shame, and it's something they do because they have a stranglehold, like Emil
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys think they'll budge on that for future instances?
I hope so.
Like, do you think that's a possibility of them actually being open to that?
I think it would affect whatever this next console generation is going to be, whether we're going to see more like boxes that just stream games or not. Any like
Stadia.
Yeah, like I think it hurts them immensely in the next generation. I think that's
Oh,
a huge
absolutely.
It'll
selling
hurt.
point.
It's gonna hurt them now.
Well,
It is.
it hurts them now, but next generation, if
Yeah.
every other platform is cross saving, cross playing together, and Sony isn't because
Yeah.
of exclusives,
Mhm.
they have shot themselves in the foot and probably like are looking into their beehole a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I 100% agree. 100% agree.
They really need to get off this mentality as like, all right, we're just going to be this special snowflake that
We
we're
need
not.
PlayStation.
Yeah, because I mean, can't you? Isn't it crazy? Can't you access the Xbox Live Store through a Switch?
Yeah.
Isn't that a thing that's
Yes.
possible now?
Xbox is opening themselves up to
All
cell
the
phones now
platforms.
too.
Yep.
That's
Like
wild,
it's it's now service over
Brand.
like box.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
And so yeah, Sony's playing the catch-up game on that one. And I 100% agree, Dan. I think for the next generation, which is probably going to be starting this year, I do believe we're probably going to get our first look at the PS5 this year and whatever's coming next from Xbox. I think that has to be a part of it. Not so much for now because Sony's already got everybody. Everybody already bought a PS4. They've got no incentive to they've already got your money. What doesn't benefit them
Yeah.
now, but for the next generation, yeah, 100%. I think it's going to be a far more open platform, which is good. That's good that you can that there's going to be connectivity between these different gaming platforms, and
I think we'll see
I
that
hope-
soon. Honestly,
yeah, because
yeah.
I think so. I mean, we finally got the ability to change our PSN IDs after God knows
Yeah.
how long. I do think that whether if it's going to, I have a feeling we will see them opening up to that this year,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I hope it's one. I hope it's something that they announce because they're not at E3 this year, right?
No, but they're going to be doing their state of play.
Right, they have like their own conference or whatever.
Yeah.
their own fake Nintendo Direct.
Direct, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, as long as they avoid the hot mess that what they did last year.
Stop doing live shows. Just it's okay. It's okay, gaming companies. Stop doing live shows.
That
It's
was
all right.
so weird to watch.
It was
we
so
don't need it.
awkward, dude.
We don't need the concert in the middle of a show about video games.
Yeah.
Stop it.
You don't need that. You also don't need to go back to the panel and be like, "Oh wow, that looked really great."
Let's go over our talking points for that game we saw that's totally coming out this year,
Hold on.
shall we?
What's this? What's this? My check? Thanks, Sony.
Wonderful. With our fake panel as we talk about how much we love the Sony platform. By the way, is Days Gone out yet? Oh, what, another year? Wow, that's probably going to be Game of the Year, don't you think now? Stop it.
You know
That
what
was
they
an
really
awful-
want to see, Jack? A man playing a flute. Give it to him.
That's what we wanted.
Can you do that on Twitch?
Yeah, so Get off the high horse, Sony. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Make money and serve your platform.
Yeah. All right. So to questions, we have about 4, and I think that does it for us.
Right.
I stink. Asks, I want to know, when will shotguns stop being meta in Crucible?
When other things, well, I was gonna say when other things become better in their respective ranges, but things are better right now. Like there's actually a lot of decent counters to shotguns. Get yourself in a rental right this second.
Yeah.
Learn how to use a fusion rifle.
Go to Banshee, because there's a lot of good fusion rifles. Go to Banshee right now and get an Arantil. If you've got a Jotun, laugh as a shotgun rusher tries to run in a direct line towards you, and you just aim at their feet.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think a lot of people want an alternative to the shotguns, but they're not willing to learn how to use something different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crutching real
because
hard.
fusion rifles have been pretty solid for a while.
Yeah.
In terms of countering shotguns, just learn the pre-fire, learn when somebody's coming in around the corner and how much charge time your fusion rifle have. Because there's definitely a lot of different fusion rifles that you can use. It's like, hey, if you don't like the ones that take a long time to charge, find yourself one that has a quick charge time and learn how to learn how to like switch off to that when you see a shotgun rusher coming to you. Like there's definitely options.
There's a learning curve to fusions, and a lot of people aren't willing to go through with that.
Yeah, there's there's a learning curve, and there's also, you have to change your play style. You can't run and ape somebody with it. You have to be mindful of like where people are, how far away they are.
Mm-hmm. How much distance they can cover in that time.
Yeah.
You have to take a lot of things into account.
Yeah, and learn what is the lethal range of your fusion rifle. If you have a fusion rifle that has a quick charge time, that means its impact is not going to be great enough to kill somebody at a medium to long distance. That's going to be something that you're quickly switch out to get the charge time like right then and there and get the kill as fast as you can.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of learning like the weapon.
Learn your range and learn your weapon. It's funny. It's like a lot of the time when people are complaining about shotguns, they say they're tired of shotgun play and that they don't want to play with other type of weapons. They don't like fusions because they take a fusion and they try to play it like a shotgun.
Yeah.
They're tired of shotgun play, and you can't do that. Now with the fusion, pre-firing is going to be your best friend. You learn the exact range that you can keep all those coils on target. There are definitely options out there for shutting down shotgun rushers. Shoot, the last word exists.
Yeah.
It's real and it exists, and it is an amazing shotgun rusher shutdown. It is an amazing weapon for shutting that down right now. Shoot, the Recluse exists and outguns most other shotguns if you've gotten your hands on it. So there are definitely options out there. Shotgun aping is still a thing. It is still going to be a huge part of the meta. But there's definitely things you can.
Yeah. Mills, question for the group. September is traditionally when Bungie has their big content drop. Does Borderlands 3 release affect the release date, marketing, etc. for Bungie if there is one?
No, of course not. Bungie's fine. There's no danger there. Everything's okay.
I think the community managers at Bungie are going to need to learn how to saw somebody in half.
Magic.
And they're going to really have to up their magic game if that's what's going to happen.
That affects release dates for Destiny stuff. We still don't know what's coming later this year, if there is anything coming. I'm still not sure Destiny 3 is dropping this year. I think that's probably going to be a next year thing.
Yeah.
I think we might maybe get one more annual pass, kind of triple content dump over the course of a couple of months, which I'd be fine with. I'd be perfectly fine with that. But Borderlands 3 is coming. Oh Lord, he coming. And that is the granddaddy of looter shooters. Absolutely, you better believe it's going to have an effect on Bungie.
Yeah, I honestly, I honestly don't think we'll probably see a season pass in September. We'll probably see. I don't know if we see Destiny 3 next September. I would almost wonder if they put it out
Earlier.
as like as a tentpole title for whatever the next console generation is.
Yeah. I could, you know what? I could see, with the new consoles possibly launching, I could see Destiny 3 being a launch title for that.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if it was a 2020 release, though.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah. Arkham Assassin 117205. If you could do Solar Void Week, what would be the emote you would make? I've got one. For Void Hunter, they have, in one hand, they have a spectral blade. In the other hand, they have the void bow. And it's a 50-50 chance which one it tosses aside.
You mean a 100% chance they toss the bow aside? is what you mean here. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be fun.
For Warlock, and is this specifically for Void? So this is for Solar and Void, right?
Yeah. If we just do one, I think that's fine.
I would love to see a give me your energy emote for Warlocks, like a Dragon Ball Z Spirit Bomb sort of thing. I would love to see that. I have no idea what Titans would do.
Yeah.
I see chat saying blow bubbles. they blow little void bubbles. Yeah, that could work. That could work.
That's great.
As long as I get the give me your energy.
Yeah.
That would work just fine.
Nim, what about you? What do you think?
I would love to see like the Warlock have like some kind of hovering emote with like a little Nova Bomb just kind of going around them.
Oh,
that'd be cool.
Like Last Airbender type stuff.
Yeah, something like that. And have like
very cool.
I don't know, have the Solar Lock have like a little phoenix kind of just hanging around them. I think that'd be cool.
Just to sit there and remind me of self-resing and how I can't do it anymore. Not bad.
Last question from Radaka. What do you think is a must for D2 in year 3 to keep the player base interested?
Honestly, I think they've got the right formula right now. I think overall, the annual pass, people may feel about how they do about Black Armory and Joker's Wild, also known as Season of the Drifter. But I think for the most part, it worked. It worked pretty well. Having a bit of content release with patches in between on like a 3-month period. Yeah. I think that worked well enough to keep people interested, while peppering in classic stuff. Maybe this time around, bring in more PvP maps.
Yes.
Maybe some D1, more D. Give me another annual pass release with more D1 stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's good enough to keep you going until D3.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think that works. I think it's just a good formula. It's worked pretty well for them right now.
Yeah.
With both the free content that they've been releasing with stuff like I think the Revelry is free content, isn't it? Isn't that seasonal content?
I believe that's for everybody. Yeah.
You don't even have to own the annual pass for that, but alongside it, putting in some of the paid premium content like the raid that they're dropping in, Season of Opulence, new game modes like Gambit Prime and The Reckoning. I think it's a good mix for Bungie, and it doesn't seem to actually destroy them with crunch time on the development cycle. They've been able to put this content out seemingly on a pretty comfortable schedule, so I think that it works.
Yeah,
not bad.
I thought of reading chat. I just thought of a Solar Hammer one. Everybody's like, have him forge the hammer or have him like flip it around. What if he was juggling like 3 hammers?
Oh,
like just.
I could see that.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Yeah. I could do it. Yeah. There's so many things they could do with emotes. There's so much they could do with emotes. Just let their mocap studio go crazy.
But I dig it. when it comes to the rest of the D2, just kind of break it every once in a while and let us have fun with it. I think there's a lot of balance, and that's cool. This game will probably never be perfectly balanced.
Absolutely.
Because when you perfectly balance something, it sometimes gets boring.
Yeah, you get D2 year one.
You get D2 launch when everything's perfectly balanced. And so don't be afraid to throw a monkey wrench in there and bump power up a little bit too much. I think D2 right now is kind of in its age of triumph phase.
Yeah.
It's kind of reaching that point for me. So I think, just play around with some things, bump up some stuff, see where it goes. The game is doing pretty well. Well, all right. Do we have any more questions, or was that it?
I believe that's all.
Well, right on, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for tuning in to episode 195 of the Planet Destiny podcast. We covered Arc Week. We covered Update 2.2.1. We covered the Revelry. And that is going to be it for this one. But before we get on out of here for tonight, of course, we're going to let you know where you can find us across the internet and what we've got going on in the coming week. Dan, where you at, man?
You can find me twitch.tv/DayInfinity all this week. Probably going to be jumping into some Revelry, some Division 2 stuff. Pretty standard fare. But then you can find me there. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Danfinity, but the I's are L's, so Dan Flannelty. It's been it's a pretty slow week overall. Just kind of getting adjusted back to a new schedule. So
right on. Be sure to check that man out. Nim, where you at, man?
Twitch.tv/NemPlays and Twitter.com/NemPlays, where you're going to see a lot of my Gambit shenanigans.
I'd say that's an accurate statement.
Gambit nanigans?
Gambit nanigans. This week, probably going to hang out in the Revelry a little bit, get that Arbalest, see how it performs in most of the activities, because I don't think I'm going to be using that in PvP too much.
Yeah.
As a side note, for those that are not aware, yesterday was Moonvald's first anniversary as a brand manager for Planet Destiny, since she kind of took over and pretty much revived it. For those that were not aware, a year ago, we were just kind of dropped of this bombshell on us. So it's like, okay, well, Planet Destiny's being discontinued. Like on Twitter, it wasn't even like we weren't told.
Yeah.
What was going on?
Like this, I've been working with the company for half a decade, and I wasn't even given a heads up.
Yeah. Nobody was. It was just something like I saw it on Reddit.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, okay, well, solid, letting the people that are working for you know that they're not going to be doing anything anymore. But Moonvald took over the brand. She pretty much brought it back, rebranded it, brought in a entire new stream team, which we might be adding some more people in the near future for it.
Yep.
And it's been fun. She has redone the website. On Wednesdays, they stream in partnership with somebody else that's created a tabletop Destiny game.
Yeah, it's cool.
I believe their campaign is called Wake of Ashes, which is entertaining. So tune in on Wednesdays for that. But yeah, Moon, thank you for reviving a channel that I have a lot of love and passion for.
Yeah, thank you for picking up a rather large mess that I wasn't going to pick up. You've been great, Moon, and we love you here. You were a fantastic addition, and you were the woman for the job. Yeah. And buddy, go give her some love on Twitter. Make sure you bother her. Tell her how much she's loved, because she is.
Heck yeah.
Right on. And of course, my name is The Black Link. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at The Black Link. This week's probably going to be more of the same. We'll have Destiny streams. Definitely going to be doing a lot of the Revelry. Seeing if I can get my hands on that Arbalest on day one of the Revelry. So I'll probably be there grinding with Nim and Black Fox. You know the crew. And probably a bit more of Division too. We're working our way towards the drop of the Raid, trying to finish up a couple of different gear sets. I love that game. Division 2 is such a good game, and I cannot stop playing it. Still can't get a D50 though. I swear. those handguns don't exist. They're not real.
I don't know, man. The one that popped up for me.
It's not real. No.
I
Doesn't
could have
exist.
sworn it said D50.
Nope,
Yeah.
you're lying. It was not a D50. It doesn't exist. That gun does not exist. It doesn't exist. It's not real.
By the way, we both
But what if
know
it
that
did?
Black Fox is not going to come on for Revelry.
I might be able to bother him enough to get him on there. I can peer pressure him and shame him enough to play Destiny.
I can see him getting on for some hot and spicy division action, but
Ugh.
I can already hear him talk about the Revelry.
Oh yeah, that'll be a rant. That'll be a rant for all ages. Oh boy.
Oh my god,
We love you, John. You're a good guy.
good guy, dude.
But that's what we'll have this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 195 of the Planet Destiny podcast. It was a great one to have you here this week. This has been a lot of fun. And we will catch you all next week. Be well, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Later on.
But of course.